you were excited to see him because of one of his failures.
There were 7 incredible guests at Yankee Stadium this weekend, and we wanted to break all of them down for you. And the best part is, Sammy and I are going to rank them for you to discuss what our favorite celebrities were this weekend and go from there. But any thoughts before we get started, Sammy?
I just want to say it was really, really cool to see them play in Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium is one of, uh, if not the most famous MLB ballpark. Maybe Fenway Park could takes the cake there, which they already played at this year, but Yankee Stadium is up there with one of the being one of the most popular and famous ballparks. So it was really cool to see that. And then yeah, we're gonna rank the guests, but it being in New York City, which is a city full of stars, and they really showed. And we're not surprised, right? They've been bringing out stars from all over the place, and New York was no different.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into them first, and I'll pass it on over to Jesse Cole to introduce the first one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, my favorite part of that is just how crazy the crowd goes for him. That was super cool. A little bit of background on that. This is actually his 3rd year coming to play with the Bananas. So pretty cool to see that he's been coming back so many times.
Yeah, super cool. People really do love the Bananas. You hear a lot of chatter online of people trying to discount Banana Ball and make fun of it or whatever, but when you have these guys that they love baseball. This obviously Nick Swisher loves baseball. He's a World Series champion, one of the best ball players to ever play. With to have that championship there, and he loves Banana Ball. So if you think you're too cool for Banana Ball, try telling Nick Swisher that that you're cooler than him because I don't think you are.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool for Nick Swisher as well because he was with them twice before, but this is the first time in Yankee Stadium since this is the first time the Bananas are playing there. So let's jump into showing you his at bats. So he comes up here. He hit off the first pitch, which was pretty cool, pretty good contact. Almost a collision, but Mason Maxwell makes the catch out there. So unfortunately, he did not get a hit, but I call that a huge win, the contact that he made off the player there.
Oh yeah. You could tell he was excited. He wanted to get a hit right away. He was gonna swing. And yeah, so that was awesome, even though there's not a hit. Still cool. And I'm sure Mason Maxwell is feeling pretty cool that he got that, you know, two players going for it right there. I'm sure both of them wanted to say that they caught a ball to get Nick Swisher out, and there you go. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it's super cool to see. But now for the moment of truth, we have to get into our ranking. So out of the 7, Sammy, where do you put this ranking?
I put him number 3. I thought this was really cool. Uh, he he's a World Series champion, a New York Yankee to be in Yankee Stadium. That's something I've talked about a lot. Is just how awesome Banana Ball is when they are celebrating the sporting history of the city that they're playing in, and especially when they're talking about the baseball history of the stadium that they're playing in, right? And so this is something that's so cool where there is a Yankees fan in the stadium that is there that brought his son to the game and is like, look, this is Nick Swisher. I remember when he won a World Series here, and now I know you love the Bananas, but you better love the Yankees too. And so I just think that that's so cool whenever that happens.
Totally. And yes, I put him down at 6, not because it wasn't a cool moment, but
Come
because
on.
I think there's some pretty cool other celebrities that came out here today. So we'll break all those down. But yes, I did put Nick Swisher at number 6. But anytime they bring out any of these MLB players is awesome. And I will say, I think that of all of the MLB players, like Nick Swisher would be one that I think they could have come to even more games than just one a season, maybe do like a week contract or something like that to like play kind of like what they did with some of the softball players this year, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, super cool. All right, should we go to the next one?
Let's do it. So jumping into the next one, Sam. I don't know how to say your last name, but this is a pretty epic moment. That jump over there was pretty epic by Noah Bridges there, and this is just super cool for them to do in Yankee Stadium. So he's singing his own song. This is how legends are made. He walked up from the crowd and was able to do that walk up there with Noah Bridges, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was super cool, especially because this isn't a walk up for the Bananas, right? This is
Yeah.
for the firefighters. And I love that he's wearing a firefighter's jersey. Like this is always so awesome for the sport when guests aren't wearing Bananas gear. Like this is really cool to try to build the brand of whatever other team, whether that be the firefighters, the tailgaters, or the party animals, to have someone wear their jersey and say, hey, Bananas aren't the only team, right? I am doing this for the firefighters. I would be doing this for the firefighters even if the Bananas weren't in the game. I don't know how true that totally is, but at least that's the appearance. And so I love when that happens.
Yeah, super cool to see. But let's jump into our ranking right here. I'll go first. I actually put this one at number three, and I will give you the main reason why. I grew up a Dude Perfect fan, and this was one of the songs that was in the background for one of their videos. And so I have
Oh.
loved this song ever since I was a teenager, hearing that from the Dude Perfect one. So super cool moment. And also, yeah, cherry on top that it is in a firefighter's jersey. Really cool to see him promoting the other brand of banana ball.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And yeah, I had him at number six. And I see how we're a little different here. But mainly because you'll see this in my list that I'm a I don't want to spoil anything too much, but I do prioritize the sporting figures a little bit more. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the fun part about the breakdown. And we do want to call out for those of you who are watching, please put your lists below in the comments. I'd love to see how different your lists are from us. And that's one of my favorite things about this is some of these people you may not have heard of, and other people it's one of their favorite people. So pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean that's why these guys do it, right? To get their name out there a little bit more and just for fun too. Yeah. Anyway, let's go
Awesome.
to the next one.
Okay, next one right here. So there is an umpire that's standing there, and he calls that he's safe. So didn't know exactly what was going on here. They call a challenge, et cetera, et cetera. They're coming out. The umpire's kind of like, "Hey, what's going on?" They actually go to an actual review. Dancing ump says it's an out. They kind of get into a little bit, and we're gonna play the next clip with some audio so you can hear what's going on. So we'll pass it over to Jesse again.
Fans, come on! What is that? Joining us as our surprise umpire today, please welcome two-time Super Bowl champion for your New York Giants, Eli Manning!
That lady is totally shocked. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite parts of the video.
Yeah, I
Go
just
ahead.
find this so funny because like i- if you just walked past Eli Manning on the street and he had sunglasses on just like he is here, I don't think I'd recognize him. If he had his sunglasses off, I would, but like he's just looks like such a normal guy. Like, sometimes you look at football players and you're like, that is a football player. That guy is scary. Like he is so much bigger than me. And I know Eli Manning's tall, but like he just looks like, just a regular guy. And so that is so funny with having him surprise everyone like that.
Yeah, super cool to see. And yeah, the audience reaction is hilarious. We'll show what happened next as he then grabs a couple New York Giants footballs, chucks them into the crowd for people. Everyone's trying to get one, and then he rips off the jersey and he throws it out into the crowd. And it's not in this video, but one of my favorite parts from this is if you watched the live stream, there's a guy that catches it. It's like a dad, and he's like showing it to his daughter, and some of the comments were just like, that guy's had to explain who Eli Manning is to his daughter and why that was so cool that he got the jersey.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Definitely. But hey, that's what I was just talking about earlier, right? Is it's bridging the gap of these generations with celebrating the sports icons. Eli Manning, he won two Super Bowls with the New York Giants, and he's a legend for the Giants. And at one of those Super Bowls, he beat an undefeated Patriots team, right? Like he just amazing memories for the Giants. And so super cool to have those young fans be introduced to the Giants in this way. And the Bananas are, people can love banana ball, but the Bananas are also trying to help those other sports brands.
Totally. And with that glowing praise, I think we need to jump into where you put this one on your ranking, Sammy.
Yeah, this was number one for me. I just thought this was so funny. Plus, Eli Manning is up there with one of the most famous people that they've had come participate with the Bananas. Eli Manning is still everyone knows the Mannings. Like the Manning family is so well known and is like almost football royalty with the quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and now their nephew Arch Manning playing for the Texas Longhorns, their quarterback. Like this this family, I think it's their dad that also played. This whole family is like football royalty, and to have him come participate with the Bananas, and it's not just like he played and yet isn't doing anything anymore. He still does stuff. Like him and Peyton are on Monday Night Football doing the Manning cast. Like they still do stuff all the time, and for him to come participate with the Bananas is a huge win for them, and also just super super cool. Plus, I have to add that this moved it up because it was just genuinely hilarious too. Like what is even going on there? That whole bit is pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was almost number one for me. I'm holding out for one other appearance that was really really cool for me. But Eli takes it at number two for me. Um, Really cool to see for the future of Banana Ball. But let's jump into the next one right here. So this one we don't have the audio on because we don't want any copyright strikes. But Miguel Cervantes, he played Alexander Hamilton in the musical Hamilton on Broadway, I believe, for around 8 years. So he is the longest tenured Hamilton on Broadway. Obviously not Lin-Manuel Miranda, but about as close as you can get with that.
Yeah, this was super cool. Broadway, obviously in New York City, super important. Important there, and for him to be on as so many people have seen him play Hamilton, and I've never seen a Broadway musical in New York City. I've never been in New York City actually. But this would be super cool.
Yeah. So let's break it down and see where it lands on ours. Happen to be the same spot for both of us. So
Yeah.
uh yeah, for me, I had never heard of this guy before today. And the other people I knew a little bit about. So super cool moment for people, but
This
it
would
was
be
on the
higher if it was Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like I think people could agree with that. No offense to him. I'm sure. I mean, he was amazing. Like that performance was really great, and he has to be amazing to be on Broadway for that long. And I do
seriously.
love the Hamilton musical. Oh, fun fact, here's a little side tangent. While I was driving to the Anaheim game that we went to, I listened to the entire Hamilton soundtrack one by myself in the car. I was like running out of things to listen to. It's like I haven't, because remember, if those that have been with us for a long time remember that live stream where I missed all of the games because I was stuck in traffic. I was We did a live stream the night before we went to the Anaheim game, and I was driving all day, and it was supposed to take me 5 hours, and it took me 9 or something like that, or maybe it was 6 and 9, but the traffic was so bad, and I was running out of things to listen to, and I was like, it's been years since I've listened to the Hamilton soundtrack, and I don't know what prompted it, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, and I did, and so there you go. There's my Hamilton and Bananas, crossover right there before this one. So yeah,
Yeah, you just manifested that into existence. That's awesome.
I guess so.
Jumping into the next one, we've only got 3 left, so we'll see where this next one lands. Big Time Rush came out. Again, no audio, but they did an incredible performance there. And this is my favorite part right here. DR Meadows and one of the singers backflips in front of home plate right in the middle of the song. So super cool way to end it.
Yeah, this was super cool. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know Big Time Rush was still around. Um, but this was cool, especially for the backflip there. Yeah, cool
Yeah, I
stuff.
hadn't heard of them very much, just kind of rumblings in the background.
When I was in I think they had a Nickelodeon show back in the day when I was in middle school or something, and I think I watched a couple episodes, I don't know, but that's the last time I thought about them was back when I was watching Nickelodeon. So I didn't know that they were still doing stuff, but good job to them. They really were impressive. That's not trying to throw any shade at them. That it was very impressive. So good on them for doing stuff. I just had no idea they were still going.
Yeah, no, it was super cool. And with the rankings, I put them at number 5. Oh, you did too.
Yeah.
I think for me, the backflip kind of pushed them above Nick Swisher. For me, that was a close call. But definitely super cool to see not only performing the songs, but also really getting into the spirit of the Bananas with DR Meadows there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I really love the performances that the Bananas have had this season. Combining music and sports is really cool.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I wish we could share the actual performance with you guys, but go look it up on the Savannah Bananas YouTube channel. Don't want to play any any extra music here. And then this one was super fun. So this is the Bananas foster, and Keegan Michael-Key was actually adopted out of foster care, and so he came out to congratulate the foster family of the night, which is pretty cool, and share a moment with them. So a really cool way of bringing him into Banana Ball. I think they've done this a couple other times with other celebrities who also came from the foster care system. But super cool. I love his stuff. So
Yeah, I love seeing this. It's an inspiration for those kids that have gone through a really, they've had a hard life being in the foster care system. They have this family now that's really good for them, but it's really cool and to have Keegan Michael-Key to come out and show, it's aspirational to see that, to see I could do something really cool because this guy went through the same thing. I don't need to let uh my upbringing or whatever limit what I can do. And this is really cool. A few weeks ago, Kyle Van Noy, shout out Kyle Van Noy, former BYU Cougar, he and Baltimore Raven, he participated in um a Bananas foster thing as well. And so, yeah, you're right. They do this with some other prominent people that grew up in the foster care system, and it's just really cool to see.
yeah, and just some background if you don't know, the Bananas foster happened because the owners, Jesse and Emily Cole, have adopted 2 kids through foster care, and they wanted to have a way to reach out and help the community a little bit more. So between every single game of Banana Ball, even if the Savannah Bananas are not there, there's a representative that brings a foster care family from the local community onto the field to recognize them for the sacrifice and the awesome things that they are doing. And it's really cool to see. And then it's not shown here, but after this, in every single time, all the players from both teams come out and they do a big group hug with the family and show that support. So really cool thing with Bananas Foster in general, and Keegan Michael-Key was a really cool part of it. So I put that as my number 4. It looks like you did too. So
Yeah.
close
All
on a
right.
couple of them.
There's only one left, so I guess we'll see.
Okay,
You
we'll
know where
pass
we
it.
put it, but here we go.
We'll pass it over to Jesse for the introduction.
Now coming to coach, a 4-time World Series champion and Hall of Famer from your New York Yankees. Please welcome Joe Torre.
Man, that is so cool.
Yeah, that is really, really cool. I think maybe I sh I might be second guessing where I put this one, seeing it again, but this was really, really cool.
Yeah, so my main reason for putting it at number one is actually it may not be what you expect, but growing up in Arizona, being a fan of the Diamondbacks, they actually won the World Series in 2001 against the Yankees, and that was how I knew of Joe Torre. Was my family had we had a DVD of the World Series, and so we would watch the highlight reel of all 7 games. And they kind of made like a documentary behind the scenes about it. Super cool to watch. So that's how I knew of Joe Torre, and he was kind of an icon from my childhood. So even though he's on the opposite side against the Diamondbacks, so
So
that's why I put him at number one.
you were excited to see him because of one of his, his failures.
Yeah, precisely. Well, because again, he's in the Hall of Fame. He won 4 World Series for the Yankees, so it's a big deal that someone took down the Yankees. And so, yeah, no, but
Yeah.
just it's actually funny because I don't even I can't name off the top of my head the manager for the Diamondbacks in 2001, but I know Joe Torre, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I shouldn't say failure anytime you get to the World Series. I mean, they won a pennant and they made it to the World Series. It's not a failure, but it's just funny that your favorite moment of Joe Torre and why you were excited to see him is because he lost to the Diamondbacks. No, that was really cool. A Hall of Famer, 4 World Series championships. Just incredible to have him out there with the Bananas.
Yeah, super cool to see, but that's our ranking. Again, leave your ranking in the comments down below. We'd love to reply to your comments and see where you ranked all of these players and celebrities this weekend.